Imagine the vast plains at dusk, where shadows stretch long and the air hums with tension. The wild is a stage of merciless trials, where survival is written in silence and sudden violence. Yet, in one unforgettable moment, something happened that defied every rule, every instinct, every expectation. Perched high on a jagged cliff, a young elephant calf found itself stranded. Its tiny legs trembled, its body pressed against the rock, while below, a pride of hyenas circled, laughing with that chilling chorus that sends shivers through the night. Their yellow eyes glimmered with hunger, their fangs flashing with cruel anticipation. The calf trumpeted weakly, but there was no reply from its herd. They were gone, leaving it alone against the predator's growing hunger. One misstep, and the calf would tumble. One pause too long, and the hyenas would strike. The balance between life and death teetered on a razor's edge. And then, out of the shadows appeared an unlikely witness. A towering figure, massive shoulders rippling beneath a golden mane. It was not another elephant. It was not even one of its own kind. It was a lion, an aging male, scarred by battles, his reign long gone, his pride lost, a lone king forgotten by time. The hyenas noticed him. Their laughter turned sharper, mocking, fearless. They knew this lion was old. They knew he no longer ruled. They closed in on the calf, confident that the once great predator would watch from the dark, too broken to intervene. But then the lion moved. Slowly at first, his paws pressing into the dust, eyes locked not on the hyenas, but on the trembling calf above. In that gaze was not hunger, not rivalry, but something far deeper. A recognition of innocence, a memory of his own cubs long gone, perhaps a final chance to act with meaning. He roared, not the proud roar of a king marking his domain, but a thunderous sound that shattered the night, a roar of defiance, of purpose renewed. The hyenas froze. For a heartbeat, the entire savannah seemed to hold its breath. Then chaos erupted. The lion charged, his aged body moving with a ferocity born not from strength, but from resolve. He struck with claws dulled by time, but fueled by something fiercer than hunger. Will. Hyenas scattered, snapping, biting, circling back again, their laughter rising to a frenzy. The battle was savage. Dust rose, blood splattered, teeth clashed. Yet the lion did not retreat. He planted himself between the calf and the killers, his mane bristling, his body a wall of defiance. Above, the calf wailed, small eyes wide with fear, but it did not fall. It watched, frozen, as the old lion fought against overwhelming odds. The hyenas swarmed again, their numbers pressing, their bodies darting from every angle. The lion's legs buckled. Scars reopened. His breath grew ragged. But in every strike, every swipe, there was a message. Not tonight. Not this life. The night echoed with the frenzy of combat. Hyenas lunged at his flanks, tearing tufts of fur, leaving crimson trails. The lion responded with a fury that belied his age, jaws clamping down on one attacker, tossing it aside like a ragdoll. But more rushed in, relentless, fearless in their numbers. For a moment, it seemed the old king would fall, and then it happened. A deep rumble rose from the horizon. The ground trembled with heavy steps. Out of the darkness emerged massive shadows, the elephant herd, returning at last. Trumpets split the night as tusks gleamed in the fading light. The matriarch charged forward, her ears wide, her cry a sound of thunder. The hyenas faltered. Panic rippled through their ranks. One by one, they fled, their laughter turning into whimpers as they scattered into the wilderness. The calf trumpeted, desperate and relieved, as its mother rushed forward, her trunk wrapping around its small body, lifting it down from the ledge. Safe at last. And there, beneath the cliff, lay the lion, exhausted, bloodied, breathing shallow. His golden eyes flickered, catching the light of the herd before him. The matriarch paused, towering above him. Her gaze lingered not with threat, but with something unspoken acknowledgment, respect. For in that night, this fallen king had stood where no one else dared, not as predator, not as prey, but as guardian. The herd moved on, calf reunited, their silhouettes vanishing into the dark horizon. The lion remained, alone once more. He sought no gratitude, no glory. His act was pure, driven by something greater than survival, compassion, a final gift of meaning in a life shaped by battles. The savannah grew quiet again. The stars shimmered cold and distant above, but on the earth below, something warm lingered, an unshakable truth. That even when stripped of pride, stripped of power, stripped of everything, a creature could still choose to protect, to give, to stand against the tide of cruelty. What drives a creature to rise against fate when the world has already cast it aside? What strength awakens when the choice is not about conquering, but about protecting? This is more than a tale of predator and prey. It is a reminder that courage does not always roar from the strong or the young. Sometimes it comes from those who have lost everything, yet choose to give one last time. As dawn crept across the savannah, the old lion lay in silence. The hyenas were gone. The calf was safe. His story was written not in dominance, not in fear, but in sacrifice. His final chapter echoed louder than any roar. And in that echo, the wild whispered a lesson. The greatest power is not in how long we rule, but in how deeply we protect. What does this teach us? That greatness is not about conquest. It is about connection. That strength is not measured in how many battles we win, but in the battles we choose to fight for others. That even in the harshest wilderness, compassion can shine brighter than the stars. The lion's body may fade, but his story lingers. A legacy not of a fallen king, but of a guardian. And so, the wild teaches us once again strength is not always about survival. Sometimes the greatest power lies in compassion, in the choice to stand when no one else will. If this story touched you, if it sparked even a flicker of hope in the resilience of life, click that like button. Share this story with someone who needs to remember that kindness and courage can exist in even the harshest places. And subscribe for more tales from the wild stories that reveal the hidden truths of connection, sacrifice, and the unyielding power of compassion. Now I ask you, when was the last time you witnessed an act of unexpected bravery? Tell us in the comments. Because sometimes the smallest stories carry the greatest strength.